Different game, same defensive issues. I feel like pretty much every single one of my talking points this season has touched on some form of defensive issue. That says a lot to me. I've seen it every week. Slavisa Jokanovic saw it every week before Claudio Ranieri took over to see it every week, and you, the fans, can see it every week. But the fact only one defender, and that's a very loose term to describe Harvard Nordtveit, who by all accounts is a defensive midfielder, was signed in January, says to me that the recruitment department aren't somehow seeing this. Yesterday's defeat to Manchester United showed us once again how poor Fulham's defence is. Paul Pogba was played onside by Joe Bryan for his first goal as he found enough space between Tim Ream and Dennis Odoi to fit a tugboat through, while Odoi was caught out of position by Anthony Martial for his goal, although the tackle by Maxime Lemarchand is the most feeble attempt to dispossess a footballer I've ever seen. It was more of the same in the second half, and it's the major reason Fulham are going down this year. Sorry everyone, but I can't see how they get out of this. Nothing was really done to address the defense in January, and Ranieri hasn't been able to address it with his tactics. That spells relegation, I'm afraid. Image, Clive Rose, Getty Images. The most goals conceded in a Premier League season is Derby County's 89 in the 2007-08 season. Fulham are sitting on 58 at the moment. There's only 12 games to go, but if this carries on they could well end up beating that record. The fans have turned on Claudio Ranieri. It took 15 games, but the Fulham fans have turned on Ranieri. The chants of "you don't know what you're doing" were all too clear during the loss to Manchester United, while the booing over the substitution of Andre Schürrle to bring on Cyrus Christie spoke volumes. Add to that the cheers when Tom Cairney came on and the constant calls for Ryan Sessegnon, and you have a very unhappy Craven Cottage. Image, John Walton, PA Wire. A large group of supporters want the Italian sacked after another lackluster display where two of the side's most talented players were put on the bench once more. The work of the last two seasons, where Fulham were a joy to watch, has been well and truly ripped up as Ranieri has opted for more negative tactics, concentrating on defense and looking for Alexander Mitrovic with long balls. It's a long way away from the 23-game unbeaten run of last season and the playoff final win at Wembley, and for a lot of fans, Ranieri's time is up. Andre Schürrle's reluctance to track back. A major frustration for fans this season has been Schürrle's tracking back, or lack of it. Odoi was destroyed by Martial on Saturday, but he wasn't helped one bit by Schürrle, who was playing in front of him and showed the same enthusiasm for getting back as a dog has for visiting the vets. For Ranieri's comments about Cairney not doing the defensive side of the work when he loses the ball, I fail to see how Ranieri can continue with Schürrle based on the same point. Image, John Walton, PA Wire. There's not a defensive bone in his body, and while he is capable of the odd brilliant effort, Fulham can afford no passengers in this side and need everyone mucking in, something Schürrle hasn't done defensively all season long. May have the Premier League experience that Ranieri loves, he may have a World Cup winner's medal, but he's having a poor season in West London. Wasting Ryan Sessegnon, if anything, shows the annoyance and frustrations the fans have this season. What has happened to Sessegnon sums it up. Previously, Ranieri has said that the 18-year-old needs to be nastier in the Premier League, but after the defeat to United he said that his youngster wasn't fit enough or in good enough form. That, for me, beggars belief. In the past, Sessegnon's physical conditioning has been one of the best in the entire squad, while he has the most assists in the side this season with 5. Image, Catherine Ivel, Getty Images. The likes of Schürrle, Vieto. Not playing Sessegnon, one of the most exciting prospects to come out of the academy at Fulham, is criminal in my eyes, and I don't understand Ranieri's reluctance to play him. Fulham did well to hold on to him last summer, but with less than 18 months on his contract and no news on a new one, it looks likely that Sessegnon will ply his trade elsewhere next year. What happens next? It's the question on many fans' minds, I'm sure. Shahid Khan's pre-match program notes spoke of not giving up and that he believed the squad were capable of staying up, but most can see that as the most optimistic of optimistic views. Plans should start being made for next season and what happens next after this shambles of a season. We all remember what happened the last time the club went down from the Premier League, with relegation to League One a real possibility at one stage, and the same cannot happen again. Image, John Walton, PA Wire. There needs to be a set of plans in place for what comes next for Fulham to rebuild and get themselves back into the top flight, having learned lessons from this season. Throwing money at the summer window won't work. There needs to be principles set and followed to ensure success. For me, youth is vital. The pathway to the first team has been gated off by Ranieri since he took charge, but the likes of Matt O'Reilly and Steven Sessegnon should be integral parts of the future of Fulham. There's no point waiting until the end of the season. The hierarchy at Craven Cottage need to start planning now. Keep up to date with the latest news, features and exclusives from Football London via the free Football London app for iPhone and Android. Available to download from the App Store and Google Play.